So what we're going to do today is wrap this. This is the little nose section of my 2005 Polaris Scrambler 500 ATV. And I'm basically doing this to practice to wrap the entire thing, hopefully soon. So let's practice with this. Now you notice that this is all matte. It's sanded down because there were some imperfections on here. And there's actually a cutout here for older scramblers that are two-stroke that actually have the oil in here. I believe that's what that's for. So I sanded everything flat, wiped it all down with a panel wiping solution. So everything is nice and clean and smooth and good to go. So this is a wrap from Vivid. Just got it on Amazon. I have links to it down below. And it's one of the carbon fiber wraps that look incredible. It actually looks three-dimensional when the light hits it. It is really, really nice stuff and very affordable as well. So let's begin. It's got a really tight roll here, so I'm going to start on one of the ends here, probably at the nose here, and work my way up here. I'm just warming it up a little bit. I'm going to peel it in just a moment. I didn't want to peel too much of it here. So make sure to have nice, clean hands when you start to use this. I'm not going to peel the whole sheet right away. I'm starting with just this nose piece. Just enough so I know that it'll be around the nose. Kind of lock it in place. And then peel the rest of it, and I can adjust it as I see fit. Once the paper is off, it's not rolling as bad. All right, we're going to start with the flattest parts here. And we may need to use a little bit of heat to shrink around certain things, which is fine. And again, I don't do this professionally. I'm just learning how to do this, so this is on my own stuff. This is not a customer's at all. But basically, I'm learning along the way. And basically just using, I've learned to use heat around the edges here and lock things in. And also when using heat, any air trapped in here will bubble out. So you can see exactly if the wrap is actually down properly or not. That's looking pretty good so far. Even around the imperfection here, it seemed to shrink down into it really nicely. All right. So just this section here is looking really good. Let's move on to the upper section. This is where it gets a little tricky. So that actually shrunk all around there pretty well. And again, this plastic isn't perfect. Now, the challenge will be getting those little grill lines in there because we will need to do something about that. For the first time trying it, really not too bad. Just implementing everything that I've learned online. I do know that sealing in these edges is really important. Heating them up and sealing them in is very important. Now there's a little bit of a tension right there. This is where the grill is, where I'm going to cut anyway. So when I get into there, we'll have to address that. But, you know, I'm thinking it's because it's possibly improperly stretched. But again, it's a small piece. It's hard to get a hold of. Doing it on the machine could have been easier, but it's hard to get around these edges because it's not like a car hood that pops up. But overall, I think this is coming out pretty decent for what it is. Again, it's just an ATV hood. Nothing crazy. All right, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to cut a lot of this excess off here. Now the tough part is getting around all these little tabs because I'm gonna have to cut around them. Obviously, I don't want to wrap them because the tabs is what keeps this in place on the ATV itself. So that's just gonna be a challenge working around. So now it's basically just a matter of going around all these edges and trying to clean them up and heat all around the edge here, and I'm going to make a nice clean cut underneath. But what I am doing is just cutting out the little tabs. Can't really wrap around them or anything because you need these little edges. You need these tabs. So I'm just slicing them. As you see here, this one's covered. So I'm just going to make a little relief slice. Heat it up. And then I actually just pull it right over like that. And the rest of it will wrap right around it nice and tight. I know it might be a little challenging to see, but you can see that tab is now exposed. This I want nice and flat, and I'm just going to go around the edge here, and I'm going around the edge, maybe leaving a 1/4 inch, and I'm going to cut inside here and make sure everything is heated up and glued on the inside edge. this was the toughest part. It's not perfect. I'm not sure how to stretch it around here properly, but I think it did a good job. Who knows? It might peel up. We'll see. So I cut a nice clean edge all the way down this edge here. And I'm just going to heat it up really quickly and just press it all down. Not too bad for my first time. So, not bad for beginners. Still need to cut these out. That'll be fun. Okay, so we're able to do it. It's not perfect, but, you know, it'll work. So basically, I'm just cutting a relief cut all around the edge. These will probably be the areas that will peel up later on, but, you know, that's just what you're dealing with these little intricate parts. If you know any good tips on how to lock those edges down better, let me know down below, but if not, you know, I understand. So I think overall, pretty good. When you really look close, you know, it's not perfect in those edges, and try to heat them up and push them down as much as possible. Those will probably be the areas most prone to peel. So whatever, that's fine. But I think overall, not bad, right? Yeah. So this is what the hood is going on. It's a 2005 Polaris Scrambler 500. Hopefully the whole thing will look like this soon. This is going to be a tough one because of all these curves and recesses and all that stuff. Probably have to do multiple pieces with using cut tape. So we'll get to that. That will be fun. But I think overall, yeah, that's going to look really nice when it's done.